It's another video from Ozzy's Robot. Brought to you by the Banana Collection. Boop-be-doodle-doo, boop-be-doodle-doo. Hey everyone, welcome back and come on in. It's your favorite tour guy here with a couple of amazingly rare, spectacular, scarce, exceedingly scarce models. Yes, these are models from Marusan. But before we get into it, as always, if it's morning where you're at in particular, grab your steaming, a delicious cup of coffee or tea or something else to wake your rear up. Park it in a comfy chair, grab a snack, focus, pay attention now, because we're going to look at the aforementioned rare Marusan models that you just don't see, especially assembled. Now that I have your attention, let's continue. I typically buy models in the box. The only partially assembled model that I have is a Tetsujin model that I bought at Mandarake, but I bought the unassembled model of it also. So I have both, the boxed unassembled and I have the partially assembled. But I don't display any models. I have a tremendous model kit collection. By the way, at some point I'm going to just make a video highlighting all these cool models. The boxes are absolutely superb. And these came to my attention, and somebody suggested that I add them. And I was reluctant because they weren't boxed, but they're like, dude, these are super duper duper rare. And I was like, all right, whatever. I mean, I do have like some of the rarest Ultraman toys in the world from Japan from the 60s. And I know Yurato 7 doesn't want to hear this. But anyway, so we have Peguila and Red King. So, Andrew, let's see. What is Peguila's origin?
So Peguila is one of two monsters who made their
Debut
in Ultra Q, who resemble a walrus, and you can see that on his mouth has walrus tusk. The other being Todala. It was modified for the Kaiju Chandler that appeared in episode 8 of Ultraman.
So episode 8, early on, and I could see a little bit of the walrus. I mean, he does have a horn. Now,
he's from Antarctica, so he was discovered by Dr. Nomura. So that's probably why he looks like a walrus. Walrus would be his face and his tusk.
And the neck, too, I guess.
Yeah.
So he reminds me a little bit of Chumley from Tennessee Tuxedo. But anyway, I talked to one of my character gurus, Josh, if you're watching this, and I said, you know, I almost would like to have these professionally painted. And he's like, no, leave them alone. Leave them alone. You want to keep them original. But I'm like, but they're already assembled. Isn't the point to assemble if you're going to bother to assemble them? But I guess we'll look at the plain plastic. That's what collectors like. Now, this one's actually functional. Now, I say that because you would think if they're assembled, they're both should be working. However, unfortunately, Red King, somebody made the mistake of leaving the batteries in there, and there's some corrosion in there. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even know if it's worth trying to repair it. It's probably a contact issue. But the other issue with him is that the plastic shaft of the leg that goes into the connector there in the body kind of splintered off, and they put a screw in there. But, you know, we're on this. However, Peguila actually works. The wire is very supple, so that's actually good. So let me fire it up, because you don't normally see models working ever. I mean, this is a treat and a half. First of all, you won't, you know, the collectors like them unassembled, so to get one of these actually working, you know, you're talking about almost a 60-year-old Marusan plastic model kit that was somehow, you know, miraculously assembled correctly, and they managed to get it to work. I mean, it definitely moves like a walrus. No lights to worry about burning out either, so. I bet you this is the first time Peguila has moved in, 30 years. that's enough of that. And there is a stamping on here. You could see kind of a copyright. Let's see if there's anything in the back. These are so fragile and brittle. Look at the tail feature glued on there precariously. The wheels on the feet. The dark makes it so hard to see anything. But that's it for the mark. It's a very cool model. In fact, I'm going to take the batteries out now so I don't forget. Standard plastic battery box. This could be at home at a Mr. Mercury even. And you could see the dreaded, maybe you can't, melt marks here. So got to be careful to leave that remote away from the wire. All right, now we'll kind of shift over to Red King. And like I said, this leg has issues, so I got to be really careful. See how it's loose here? Well, this one is actually the one that doesn't seem to be broken. And I'm going to show you also the remote, what the problem is. And Red King became very popular from my understanding.
That's what it says.
So go ahead, tell me, and speak up so they... Yeah.
Red King is an ancient kaiju species from Earth. One of his most popular kaiju. Is well known in the Ultraman series. And in the series, he caused chaos with the other Ultra Q monsters, Garmon, Kanagon, and M1. And
I know he's super strong too.
Yep. He was discovered on a remote island with the other monsters, where a group of scientists had been terrorized and all but one were killed. Again, he appeared with Maguilar and Chandlar.
So he's popular, he's cool, he's strong. Does look a little bit like Godzilla. I'm just saying. I actually watched the Ultraman animated on Netflix. It was pretty good. A little slow, though, to be fair. But the animation was well done, in my opinion. The story was a little slow. And it was more kid-focused, but it is what it is. I mean, these all originally were. But again, let me go back to this remote. See the dreaded rust. I'm like thinking, who the hell would have left a battery in a model kit? And here's the... You can see if I move this, what's kind of corroded that's not making a connection. So I tried to have it touch and fiddle around with it. I mean, I could probably send it off to get repaired, but then the problem is this leg is so janky. Anyway, here's underneath the ratchet feet. The wretched feet. Here's another wheel here. It's actually spinning, so it's not frozen, which is surprising. Here's his face. I think it'd be cool if you had a professional modeler paint these, but I guess there's some appeal to the original color. There's his back. Let me just pick the camera up. Easier to show you that way. And I know there's a lot of fan of these kaijus, and you're not going to see these too often. So now I'm going to try to figure out where the heck I'm going to display these. I don't have any room with the Ultraman stuff, so maybe in my plastic area with the jumbo machinders. I do have a lot of rare plastics in there. That would be probably about the only thing that could accommodate these. So that is a look at your very rare Marusan assembled models, Peguila and Red King. So if you like this stuff, leave a thumb up or thumb up the video and leave a remark. Let me know what you think. And as always, I appreciate your time. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed by now, what the hell are you waiting for? With that, thanks again for your time. Greatly appreciated. And I will talk to you later.